Hello everyone, welcome back. In the previous video we had completed the search page for our application, and now in this video we are actually going to create all of the logic related to searching users in Firebase. So without anything further to do, let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is that I'm just going to remove most of the clutter from my screen, and we are going to go to our search page. Now in our search page, the first thing we're going to do is that we are going to import the database service. So import .. and then services and then database service. The next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to import our auth provider and .. and then our provider's auth provider, and then finally I'm going to also import the provider package. So it's going to be provider, and then we have the provider package imported. So once we have all of this, I'm just going to do command save to make sure nothing breaks. Now the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to link up our auth provider to our search page. To do that, I'm just going to firstly take the search page UI function, and I'm going to wrap that with a change notifier provider .value. I'm going to also define the type of our change notifier provider, which will be auth provider. Once we have this, the value could be auth provider .instance. And then finally, we'll set the child, and the child could be the actual search page UI. Alt-Shift-F, command save. With that, the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy the column that we have inside of our search page UI function, and I'm going to wrap that inside of a builder function. Then for the builder function, it'll provide us a build context, which we'll take it as a underscore context, add the braces, the semicolon, and then after that, I'm going to return our actual column and do Alt-Shift-F and add a comma here and command save. So with that, the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to the top, I'm going to find a new variable, and I'll call this auth provider, and then I'll call this underscore auth. Okay. So with that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to come down to our actual builder function, and I'll assign our auth provider a reference to our actual auth provider, which will be provider.auth and then auth provider and of context. So context. With that, I'm just going to do Alt-Shift-F, and then I'm going to go down. And what is there? What I have to do is I actually have to take our auth and I have to put it inside of our search page state class and not the actual other class. With that, I'm going to do command save. Hopefully nothing breaks. I'm just going to reload our app to make sure nothing breaks. Okay, so with that, the next thing we are going to do is that we're going to go to our database service, and we're going to define the actual function that's going to pull the users for us from Firebase. So let's get going with that. So similar to like our get user data and our get user conversations, I'm going to create another function, and this function is going to return us a stream for now, and then we'll define what type of stream this is going to be. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to name our function, and I'm going to name our function get users in DB, so database. Once we have that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to pass a string argument to this, and this string argument is going to be if we want to search users with a particular name, and that's what this search name is going to be. With that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to define the reference of the documents or the location of the documents, and in this case the reference would be our db.collection. Then we would have the underscore user collection. Pretty much that's going to be our reference. Once we have our reference defined, I'm going to return the actual data. So I'm going to return the stream of data actually. So it's going to be reference dot, and then we're going to get documents. And then after that, what we're going to do is that we're going to map this as stream. So get documents is going to provide us a future of query snapshot. We'll transform the future into a stream of query snapshots. And get documents is different from snapshots, because get documents is only going to be called once when the request is made, and it's not going to actually periodically check first for any changes in the application. Okay, so once we have the actual query snapshot marked as a stream, once we have this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do .map, and I'm going to map our stream of query snapshots into a new stream. And what is our new stream going to be? Well, it's going to be a stream of contexts. Now inside of here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to return, and I'm going to take our snapshot, And then I'm going to take the documents inside of our snapshot. So each document is going to be a user. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to map them, and I'm going to get each document. And then inside of here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to return our actual contact, and then from Firestore. So contact.from Firestore. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to pass in the document. That is pretty much it. And then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save. So just going over this function, what this function is going to do is that we're going to grab the documents. We're going to convert the future into a stream. Then we'll map that stream into a new stream, which is going to be a stream of list of contacts. And then what we have to do is that for this map, what we have to do is that we have to convert this to a list. And then we can do Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to define the type of our stream, which is going to be a list of contacts. And then Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save. So with this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to head back to our search page. And I'm not yet going to actually import that function and use it. What I'm going to firstly do is save the input that we receive from our search into a variable. And the way we're going to do this is that I am going to go to the top of our search page, state class, and there I'm going to create a new string. So here I'm going to create a new string, and then this string is going to be our search text. And then every time our search page state gets instantiated, what we'll do is that we'll set our search text to an empty string, and this will become apparent later on in the video. With this, I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F and Command, Save. So with the search text now initialized, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go down to where we have our actual user search field, and inside of our onSubmitted function, we'll call the setState function, and then inside of here, we'll set our search text to whatever input we get. And then we're going to do Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save. So with this, we're going to go to the function that actually renders our column, and the function inside of which we have the logic for rendering our users list view, so which is this function. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to wrap this container inside of a stream builder. So I'm going to copy this container, and then I'm going to wrap it inside of our stream builder. And for the builder, we'll get in a context and a snapshot of our data. And then I'm going to add the semicolon. I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save. And inside of here, I'm going to return our actual widget, or which was, if we go to the top, our container with a list view builder inside of it. Once we have this, I'm just going to reload our application to make sure nothing was broken, and nothing was. So now we can move to actually defining the stream for our stream builder. The stream for our stream builder is going to be our database service, then the instance, and then dot get users in database. And then for the search name, we'll send in our search text. With that, I'm just going to do Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to go down to our builder function, and we're going to access the data. So I'm going to do var and then our users data, and then I'm going to set that equal to our snapshot.data. For IntelliSense to work, we also have to mark what our stream builder is going to have as its data, and in this case, it's going to be a list of contacts. And with that, we can do Alt-Shift-F, but before we can get this working, what we have to do is we have to go to the top, and we have to import our actual model. So model, not conversation model, it's our contact model. And Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save, come down, and now the error should be resolved. So with this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take our container first, and I'm going to check to see if we have a data in our snapshot. So snapshot.hasData. If we have data, then we're going to show our actual container. And if we do not have the data, then we're going to show our actual loading indicator. And the loading indicator is going to be the same that we have used in all of our other pages, which is our spin kit wandering cubes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to top, and I'll import our actual loading indicator. To import it, what I'll do is I'll come here, I'll write the import statement, and then I'll do flutter spin kit. So the portrait, which should be automatically completed. I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save. So with this, we have actually made sure that when we are actually searching data and actually pulling data from the Firestore database, and for the moment when we don't have any data, that we display a loading indicator and the app doesn't display an error. With this, we are actually ready to implement the actual data that has been retrieved. So now what I'm going to do is that inside of our list view.builder, for our item count, I'll set that as our user data and that length. And if I do Command Save, already you're going to see that we see an update as we see 3 users. And as of now, we have 3 users registered in the database. Then what I'm going to do is that I am going to, for inside of our list view.builder's item builder function, I'll define another variable and I'll call this our user data. So the first one was users data, this is user data. And then I'll set that equal to our users data and then the specific index that we are on. And do Alt-Shift-F, Command Save. Then I'm going to take our user data, and for the text, I'll set that to user data. And then if you do dot, it's going to be our name. Then for the image, it'll be user data and then dot, and we'll set that as an image. And this should hopefully update as you saw. Then what we're going to do is that we're going to work towards the actual text inside of our trailing widgets for the column widget that follows after the title. And here we have to do 2 things. We have to show what the last seen text is and what the actual time was that they were seen. So firstly, we're going to work towards the top thing, which is our last seen time. To do this, what we're going to do is that we're going to go to the top, and inside of our list view.builder function, we are going to create a new variable, and I'll call this var is user active. And here we're going to do some calculations to determine if our user is active or not. This is going to be fairly simple. So what we're going to do is that we're going to get our user data, and then inside of our user data, we'll take the last seen and we'll first convert that to a date. And then what we are going to do is that we're going to check that is before. And what is it before? Well, is it like 1 hour before what our time is as of now? And to do that, what we're going to do is that we're going to create a new variable just for explanation purposes, and I'll call this current time. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to define it as date time, and then dot, and then now. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to take our current time and we're going to subtract from it a duration object, which is going to have 1 hour inside of it. So from our current time, we'll subtract 1 hour. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to go down and we're going to apply a tertiary check. So I'm going to do underscore is user active. And then I'm going to check to see if our user is active. If our user is active, then we're going to display not this text, but we're going to display active now. And if he is not active, then we are going to display another text. And the other text is going to be the same text. I'm going to paste it here, but this time it is going to say last seen. And I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F, Command Save. With that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to split this video into 2 parts, and I'm going to end this video here. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video where we're going to further develop the logic for our search page. So with that, I'm going to end this video here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.